Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't also forget to subscribe. We talk about ordinary, the Igbo spiritual system. We try to basically give a modern outlook, and we try to basically explain these things from an indigenous perspective, so you understand that the white man, your church, your pastors, your priests, they all lie to you. And when you understand the Igbo spiritual system from an indigenous perspective, then we can basically bring them together and use all those things we have in our environment for the development of our environment. So for today's topic, I want to talk about how Igbo women were treated in pre-colonial Igbo society. How Igbo women were treated in pre-colonial Igbo society. The first one on my list here is that Igbo women do not change their surname to their husband's name after marriage. They still maintain their father's name. They are still known by their father's name. Sometimes I even call them from their community. Like I'm from Nnewi and I'm from Obiono. I can be called Nwani Nnewi, Nwani Obiono, or Nwobo Obiono. These are the names how we address Igbo women, but we do not change our surnames. We can either add our husband's name, or we basically just go with our father's name. And if we want to go for divination, we don't go to divination with our husband's name. We go for divination with our father's name, because they are our spiritual foundation before our husband's own, and it is still maintained that way. And the second one on my list here is that Igbo women are not buried in their husband's house. They are buried in their father's house. You need to understand that our people believe that Isinwa Ada Tonamba. So after death, they bring back the corpse of the woman and they bury her. Remember, what we look at as marriage, we call marriage Ije, to go to somewhere. EJD. In a GJD, you're going to have the marital experiences, and once you're done, they're taking you back to your father's house. Now, we no longer do it this day because of colonialism and because of the church. Even the small one that we do, where they take the body of the woman to her father's house before taking it to their husband's house. Some churches are now even saying that it is unchristian. Everything Igbo is unchristian, so they're saying it is unchristian. For people that actually think that they are right and it is your business, but know that it's in one other number. So what we now do currently is, like in a Navy, the woman is buried in two places. There's the burial ceremony is going on in her husband's house. It is also going on in her father's house. Now in the morning, they will bring her corpse. Her people from her father's side will basically see her, and once they are done, they will take her to the husband's house. And after the burial, they will bring back some of her properties, like some of her clothes and some of the pots that she used to cook, and they will now hang her picture in her father's obi. Now, the next in line, the next Onyo Otoro, or one of her sisters, would basically I've forgotten, there's this dance, and she would come and the family members will start giving her money and trying to basically kind of make her appease her or something like that. Now when they're now doing it, and after, at the end of the day, the women in that family, now it's basically concludes that process. Is what they're now doing now. But back in the day, the woman is buried in her father's house. Now at the end of those burials, they would also give that family, maybe if the family that is well to do, they would give a female cow. If they are not, they will give abonye omunna ewu. It's the way to symbolically bring in that practice of burying a woman in her father's compound. And church does not even get into this, because even up to now it is still done that way. Now the third one on my list here is that women were never the victims of domestic violence because of the protective shield on them. And this protective shield can range from their fathers, their brothers, to Obubu, or the deity Mmosonwani Ejijedi. Now our spiritual system covered us, it protected us. It's up to now, it still protects women, just that women are the first to even run inside the church. But our Igbo system protects women in such a way that no institution can actually do it. In my community, there is a deity that we call Mbopa Ochi Ogo. This particular deity, her primarily job is to protect women. Now, if you're from my ONM community and you marry and your husband maltreats you, beats you in a way, that deity will go and fight that particular man. Now, within the system, because more than we human beings would also do our own, women would gather together. That's why we have Omu. That's why we have Umwa. They are there to pursue the interest of women. So what they will do, they will come together and they will question that man and his manhood and his right. What gives him the right to think that he's going to basically lay his hand on his wife? Now, that's one aside. Another thing again that protects women, is the fear of okunwada, the fear of oku Mwada or Oku Mwada. Now, it's a spiritual problem that materializes from the death of a woman. Maybe a woman dies as a result of domestic violence, and her brothers and her family members did not come to basically, defend her. They did not come to her rescue, and she dies as a result of that domestic violence. Now, her spirit, her essence will materialize into a vengeful spirit, which is capable of destroying an entire lineage or a community. So, in those days, we had tribal wars or wars that were done because of the death of a woman. This is the people saying, you cannot do this to our daughter. You should never have done this to our daughter. So, they are coming to basically defend her in a bid to avoid this after effect of Okunwada. That's what happens there. Now, the next one is women are the original owners of the market, and these markets were headed by Omu. Now, I watched an interview where the current Omu of Anyoma said something about, many women no longer wanting to be Omu because the government have now gotten into the market and they are now possessing the market. So these women who function as Omu no longer enjoy the privileges of being an Omu. Now, also remember that back in the day that Igbo men were known for Now, you cannot see a man back in the day bringing a seat and sitting down in the market. To do what? To do what? You get? So those men were known for, they were known as Diji, Dimba, Diochi. Things that requires strength for them to do. Now, reality check, it is not the same now. Our men are still very much active in trading, not really going to farm works and all that. Is because of the reality that we are in. Many of them don't even have farms anymore. But you now basically now see them into the market. But it is actually sad that I don't know if women are heavily involved in the leadership of the markets, because originally women were the leaders and the owners of those markets. So I would say that men got into the markets and basically pushed women out. But all is good so far. Nobody in that market feels oppressed or feels that one person is taking all those things. But back in the day, women were the original owners of the market. Now, the next one on my list here is that in rare cases of domestic violence, women stand together and question the integrity of the man. It is a colonial concept or colonial construct to think that Igbo women were docile, that Igbo women were meek. They don't say outside, they don't have the right to say, they don't do anything. No, Igbo women were known to be active. Igbo women were known to say what is right and stand on the truth. Now, if men are doing things that are like really, really wrong, Igbo women, we stand up to them and we tell them the truth. Now, many of us don't know this, but in the Igbo system, when a wada, especially the first daughter in a family, if you like, let's let there be 100 boys ahead of her. When a wada says something in her father's house, it stands. It stands. You don't, especially what she's saying. What she's saying is right, and it is not ihebo no ona so yoyi. So far what she's saying is right. But that thing that she's saying, it stands. Igbo women stand up for truth. When a man maltreats or beats his wife, women will come together and question his manhood. Ajoye ese. Kedi, why would you touch a man? They would say that these women would even destroy some of the man's property, in order at the end of the day he's going to come to them and apologize and act right. So these are like how our ancestors make sure that nobody's being is oppressed and all. So the next one is women had parallel polio-social organizations that their functions are basically tailored to their gender roles. So we talk about Igbo, Ekwe, just like a similar Ozo. They're like the female kind of Ozo. They are Ozo, but they're women, so their own is Ekwe. Now different communities have different names for what I'm just trying to explain. And what again is Umuada. So they play that role where they basically pursue the feminine, the woman's interest, to make sure that no woman is being abused or subjugated to whatever, which necessarily does not even exist. But I'm not going to say over my head, but we had a parallel socio-political organization that tailored to our gender specific our gender roles. So the next one is women held spiritual authority and positions. You now look at them as Owumiri or Ezenwani, Dibianwani, in whatever capacity. Some of them are marine intercessors. Some of them function as Ndinenyewanyo or Afime. So women had these spiritual positions that we held back in the day. Now another way how women were treated is that certain animal parts were strictly left for women. I say you see that Ukwano, don't joke with it. Like, don't joke with it. Ada, hey, even if she's married, she will go. You will give her Ukwano. And sometimes when some deities perform some sacrifices, for instance, in the Navy, when one deity as a Mewezedoga is a deity, once he performs any function, like his festival is what in Navy called Okam. So when he's performing that Okam, the Efi, the cow that are going to kill in his shrine, they will take the waist and they will take it to his first daughter. He will take it to his first daughter, Adonerukwano. The name of the daughter, the name of the deity is called Nza, Ogugunza in Osoburu. That's where she was married into that community. So they will take it to her shrine and the people there would consume it. So God in our mother, God in our mom. In reality, if they kill any animal, they take the waste and they give it to the woman. So that part is left for her. So another thing here is that women perform their own festival, like how men perform Iriji. Women, we do Ede. We celebrate Ede. We celebrate the Cocoyam, while the men celebrate the Yam. Now, finally, Igbo ancestral deities do not joke with women. So in my community, this same particular deity that I just mentioned, Ezemevi Ezedoga, women don't go into his shrine. So there is an entrance. Women just stay there and perform any sacrifice that they want to do, and a man comes in and takes in. I don't really know the reason why that is done, but it is it's part of our cultural practices. So when I pointed that out and I asked the chief priest why is it, he now said, he just laughed. He didn't really answer. He just said, but know that this particular deity do not joke with women. Like his favorite honor, and it's true, because if you come there, you will see women. Maybe that's what they call themselves. They sit down there. Every time you come there, you will see those women there. So you see, like, he doesn't, and if you disrespect them, you will get into a problem with that deity. So the man said, deities don't joke with women. It's just like sometimes people think that some of these practices means that Igbo society is against women. Igbo society does this to women, does that to women. Now, what I have seen or noticed over time is that we've corrupted a lot of things, we've spoiled a lot of things, and we've given so many human interpretations to a lot of things. So things that probably was not even the reason why some of these cultural practices were instituted back in the day, but currently we now see people basically, this is what, like one man told me, I made a post, I've forgotten, and the man said to me, back in the day women don't talk, so you should not even be talking. And I'm like, are you kidding? So people just give explanations, interpretations to things that they don't necessarily have a full scope of, but they just basically have an idea and they just run with that idea. So part of my work is just trying to basically shed light into these core issues, and basically tell people that our society did not maltreat women, based on how, because if I compare how our society was functioned with how the Western society was functioned back in the day, I would choose my Igbo society 100 times more than theirs. They were horrible. They were horrible people to women. So the way they were to women was what even gave rise to the popularization of feminism. Of feminism, women trying to advocate for their own fundamental human rights. But in our society, we had structures and institutions that our ancestors set aside that protected the interest of women. So you won't say that like polygamy. Come to the argument of polygamy. People think polygamy is against women, but it has never been against women. It's even this recent and modern interpretation of polygamy that gives it this mindset that that polygamy is an opportunity for men to have access to multiple women without being accountable for their choices, or without basically being held accountable for some of the things they do. So these are some of the things I've listed out, and hopefully in the nearest future we'll be more elaborate and would basically have a lot of information on how Igbo women were treated in pre-colonial Igbo society. So guys, I'm going to stop here. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe and join my tribe, join all my social media platforms where we talk about ordinary. And until next time, you guys, yeah.